start again. It's a rich thing.
What's up, y'all? It is Tasha. I am back with another review. Thank you so much for stopping into my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button before you get out of here. If this is not your first time, second, or third time here, welcome back. You know how we get down over here, okay? So I know I'm a little bit tardy to the party with this Ready to Love review, but y'all, it was a busy weekend, and quite frankly, the way they wasted our time with part one of the reunion, I was like, part two, I just have a feeling it's not going to be much better. And that feeling was pretty accurate. But here we are. We're going to talk about it so that we can wrap up this season, which was my very first season of watching Ready to Love. And I don't know if this gave me enough that I would want to watch another season. That's all I will say. But we'll leave the door open, like Bruno Mars and them said, just in case I feel like watching this show again. But this wasn't it. And maybe it was just a bad season, okay? But anyway, for part two of the reunion, we have Tequila and Janelle still going at it, child. Tequila leaves. Here comes Janelle playing victim as if her mouth does not start half of this ish that be happening, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, we then see Quentin, Janelle, Morier, and Kat come to the stage. I found it funny that they put Kat and Quentin on the same couch instead of putting Quentin with Janelle, but I guess they was just trying to keep us going because they didn't give us the update on Janelle and Quentin at this time yet. They show the highlights of the retreat again, well, where Janelle basically would not let her claws out of Quentin long enough for him to interact with any other woman. Yeah, we all saw it. As they were replaying this clip, though, I missed completely how funny Sierra was and that whole interaction with Kat and Janelle going back and forth at that retreat, child. Sierra, she is actually the real MVP of the show. Like, I love Sierra. She is very funny. She knows how to just make light of most situations, child. And she was not taking this whole situation too seriously at all, which I loved. Tommy asks how it feels to reflect, and he's like, it is what it is. And basically they agree, it is what it is. Quentin says, he asked Quentin where it all went wrong. Quentin says, oh, I don't know, but maybe I guess it has something to do with the interaction that, you know, Kat and Janelle had earlier that day. Maybe that played a part. You don't think so, Quentin? You don't think so? Of course it did. Quit acting oblivious like you don't know what was happening. Kat said that Janelle can be very belittling because you can hear each other out. You don't have to necessarily agree with each other. You can have a difference of opinion and just still not be rude. And Janelle can come off rude AF. And I agree, she does. And pretty much all the other women backstage are like, yeah. Q asks, you know, did she kind of just rub you the wrong way because y'all don't see eye to eye? And Kat is like, no, it is an interaction I had with her. It's not that I just go around not like women just to not like women. It is clearly the interaction we had together. Like, we all saw that, okay? And then Tommy is like, well, Kat, you were the one that called her out her name. And I was like, Kat, well, and what else is going on? Because I'm not sorry for it, okay? And then Tommy asks Janelle what she thinks. And she says, basically, it's giving obsession. And Janelle, I want you to stop it. I want you to stop it because it is absolutely nothing wrong with having very high self-esteem and high regard for yourself. But to think that all these people are obsessed with you because, you know, they just don't like you because of your attitude you put off. Girl, it's giving delusion. It is really giving delusion. But she thinks her mere presence challenges everyone else's mediocrity is what she says. She says that everyone that has a problem with her went home. So maybe if y'all had worried about connecting with the men instead of pretty much hating on her so bad, then maybe you would have found somebody. I would love to know what fantasy land Janelle lives in because it's probably very happy and peaceful there with amazing snacks. No tea, no shade. I love to eat. I want the good snacks. But I would imagine it's just there where she's able to flip everything around that I'm not the problem. You guys are the problem. It's like am I the drama? Yes, indeed you are the drama, Janelle. But they go back and forth. Kat says to just have respect for her. She tells Kat she isn't respectable. See, this is what I'm talking about with Janelle's mouth, honey. Like, because you just be saying any old thing. And if somebody were to say that to you, you have a whole eyes rolling, flipping that, I don't know what kind of Malaysian wavy, girl, I don't know nothing about the hair or the bundles, okay? I don't know what that crochet wavy, natural look that you have going on, but you would have been flipping it and stretching it and doing everything if she would have said the same thing about you guys. Morier said it's okay to have disagreements, but he don't like the black women going back and forth like that. Morier, shut up. Nobody asked for your opinion on this. This is a show with just black people. Of course, it's going to be the black women going at each other, okay? That's the only thing that's here is black women. It is what it is. And when you have one that's delusional and combative like Janelle, yes, you're going to have arguments and disagreements. It just comes with the course, honey. So Janelle then calls Kat a B as she walks off stage. And I said, well, I guess she wanted to get that because now they're even. I don't know. So backstage, basically all the women, when they kind of get together backstage, everybody can key together except for Janelle and Jessica. And that says a lot. And I don't know how they don't see that with their very own eyes. Anyway, on stage now is Chris, Lee, Kat, Jessica, Aries, and Morier. They play back the clips with Chris and all the women throughout the season. Of course, we have to hear the C word yet again. Combative. Oh, Lord, thank God we don't have to hear this anymore. Tommy said that Chris denied calling her combative. And he's just like, man, why didn't you just, come clean? And why you just didn't say it? Again, I'm with Chris, and I think I said this during that review. He didn't call her combative at that time that they're referencing to. He said they had combative situations, not that she was combative. He didn't outright call her combative until she was about to eliminate him, and it was already hot and heated at that moment. That's when he called her straight up combative, along with calling Janelle combative. Tommy said it was out of line the way he spoke to Jessica. He apologized and said he agreed, but he won't apologize for his feelings. He said that she was really bullying. She was antagonistic throughout the entire process to not only him, but also the other women. And I think we all saw, again, what we saw during the reunion. The side comments, the eye rolls, the hair flips, just the size. Like, we saw all of that, and that's what they gave during the season as well. So Chris ain't lying. Chris said before they went to the retreat, kind of him and Jessica had already decided, things were not going to work out between the two of them. Kat also kind of asked, what's wrong with the word combative, acting like we can't say the word combative, because she's like, if that's what you're exhibiting, then that's what I'm going to call you. I ain't mad at it, especially if that's what she showed y'all, all right? Tommy says, we just got to talk to women with respect at the end of the day. Tommy, but who does that apply to? Because right now I feel like you picking and choosing who that applies to. You done got on Chris about his mouth. You done got on Kat about her mouth. But have you gotten on Janelle or Jessica about their mouth in respecting women? Because it doesn't just go from a man respecting a woman. It goes from women respecting women as well. So if you're going to hold one person accountable about the disrespect or the respect of black women, you got to hold everybody on this entire season accountable, Tommy. Like, I don't like that, okay? Anyway, I don't even know what was the point of having all these people on the stage. We know this conversation was for Chris and Jessica. We then see Jessica and Kat. They talk backstage. Kat had a problem because at one point they were on stage and Jessica, asked a, in my opinion, rhetorical question. Everybody was on mute. And Jessica had something to say about that. Girl, nobody's required to answer a question that you put out there. You are not the host of this reunion, okay? We just not going to do that. And not to just prove a point for you, because most of the girls really don't like you. Next on stage is Aries and Phil. They're on separate couches. And Janelle is backstage asking Quentin if he notices the seating. Girl, none of us are surprised at the seating of them being on different couches. They did not choose one another. So you trying to be messy when there is really no mess to be made here. We see Aries and Phil package, her concern about his stability. From interviews we now have seen that Aries has done. She wasn't talking about the stability in him having a job. It was more about the concern of the future. Tommy asked Phil how it felt to choose her, but she didn't choose him. He says it kind of didn't felt no kind of way. He said this on an interview as well, that basically a week and a half before even the decision, they needed to make the decision, the communication started to drop off. And he said he kind of didn't even want to choose her, but production kind of encouraged him to choose her. So that's why he did it within the little, last episode. Aries says, basically, you know, I know he has a job and he's good, but he still has all these dreams. And I'm not sure if I'm in the right season in my life to support him. And at this point, I'm like, okay, Aries girl, like, I don't know. It sounds like you want just a boring old man who just, you know, has his job, makes great money, and that's all he ever wants to do, because it seems like the part of a man maybe wanting to do more, wanting to do something different, dreaming of other things is where you have the issue. And to me, that's quite boring. If a man doesn't maybe wants to do better with himself, or maybe just, you know, explore other interests that he may have, like, Aries, I was on your team throughout the whole season, and now I'm just not understanding what the problem is. I still, even though you said it, I still don't really get what the problem is, girl. He is not asking you to foot his comedian career for him to be at comedy zones all over the United States, child. Like, I just don't get it. And maybe it's just me, and I'm okay with that. Tommy asks Aries, and basically the way she knows, you know, the stability looks now, if things could change. She says maybe, but there are also other things, but she doesn't say what those other things are. We basically learned nothing new between the two of them. They are cordial with each other. And she's like, I don't even know why we was this far apart from each other. For the drama of it all. Okay. We then see Kira's package, and on the stage now is Kira, Chris, Janelle, Kat, Herbert, and Morier. And Morier says he is at a different level of blackness that is above Beyonce concerts. I should say, what now, Morier? So is a Beyonce concert like entry level black, like an entry level job straight out of college, and then you go up from there? Help me help you, because I don't understand what that's supposed to mean. Or maybe it's a level of wokeness that I don't even want to reach. Okay, I just don't know. But Tommy asks Kira about, you know, the vibe from Quentin, about asking him if white women is his preference. And she's like, I just kind of got that white women, or maybe, you know, Latina is maybe what I should have said. And he's also from Florida. Kira, what, girl? All Florida men don't like black women? Is that what she's trying to say? If y'all from Florida, let me know. Then we see the love triangle of Quentin, Janelle, and Lee, which wasn't really a love triangle because Quentin never gave Lee a real chance after the first couple episodes, in my opinion. Quentin says it was difficult to manage the two ladies and it was hard to give both of them 100%, where you really never tried to give Lee, I feel like, even like 80%. Lee says it was tension in the house whenever Quentin tried to talk to other women. Janelle says, oh, it's just this narrative that's trying to be painted about me. Quentin is grown and he can speak with anyone. Girl, we saw every time this man couldn't barbecue on the grill without you being there. This man couldn't go catch some fish without you being there. Like, girl, we saw it with our own eyes. It's not a narrative that the cast is trying to paint that was the complete opposite from what we actually saw on TV. We saw you be all on his case anytime any other woman was in 2 feet of him. Like, the delusion, child. Janelle is trying to speak her piece. Lee is like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going back and forth with people who are not aware of themselves. And I was like, please don't waste your time, Lee. You too cute sitting on the stage. Don't waste your time going back and forth with Janelle, okay? Quentin says it had nothing to do with Janelle, as far as, you know, his connection with Lee not really developing. Lee says, okay, Quentin. And when I tell you everybody backstage laughed, and I laughed because it was given... If that's the story you want to say and believe, Quentin, at this point, go for it, sir. Go for it. But the rest of us don't believe it, okay? But Lee says currently she is doing wonderful. She has jumped back into work. She says love will find her in due time. And I'm like, Lee will not have a problem finding a good man, okay? So now we have Janelle and Quentin on the stage to see if they are still together. I, quite frankly, do not care, but here we are. Because... we know with the fundamental differences, especially with the timeline and the children, they just won't work long term. But here we are. Let's get an update and see where they are. Janelle says that, you know, her and Quentin kind of initially clicked at the mixer after the cameras were down. He was just so nice. They kind of just hit it off. Quentin said he hadn't really laughed that whole night and he just really laughed with her. okay. But they said it's just easy to talk to one another, so that's why their connection kind of grew from that very moment. Quentin also says that Janelle gives off this type of aura when she walks into a room, and he knows because he gives off that same aura. And I said, is there an aura meter that we can check to see where, if he's a good judge of aura at this point? Because I don't think so. I don't understand, Quentin, how you can just act like she has just this good juju walking around her, but she's quite nasty to most other people. Like, eventually that's gonna run its course and show its face to you at some point in time. You're not gonna be excluded from the nastiness, Quentin. It's just not gonna happen. But the status of their relationship is they still have work to do. So they're still working on integrating each other into the other one's lives since the cameras are down. So I got that they were still getting to know each other, but not in an exclusive relationship. And at this point, I'm like, well, what is the point of the show? Because Morier and Jessica says, you know, they're great and we're still going to know each other, not in a relationship. Janelle and Quentin says they're still getting to know each other and doing great, but not in a relationship. So is the point of the show for them not to get into a relationship and to just keep getting to know each other? They choose each other just to keep getting to know each other, but not to be exclusive. As whoever has watched this show more than this season, let me know if that's what usually happens, or if this is normal, if they just choose each other and they just keep on dating with no titles. Let me know what is supposed to happen. But anyway, that's the end of the show. It wraps up with everyone on stage. We just get a couple snippets from Unique and Chris 2.0 that says they'll continue to talk to get to know each other. Kat says this process has taught her to be a little bit more intentional about dating. And Red then asks, you know, Janelle if her and Quentin are exclusive. And I'm like, boy, no, they are not. But also, boy, don't nobody want you. Okay. But y'all, that was the end of season 8 of Ready to Love. Let me know how y'all felt about this entire season. I give it a 5 out of 10 overall. Most of the reunion footage they could have kept. Honestly, they could have sent us the details of the reunion in an email. We didn't need 2 parts of it. But I will catch y'all later. I plan to, I've already watched the next 2 episodes, the ones they just put out last Friday of Love is Blind. I just need to rewatch them, take some notes, and then I will put the review up for that. So if y'all have been watching Love is Blind, I will try to get that out in the next couple days as well. But let me know what y'all thoughts are, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.